So this is the second video that I got for you guys on Wednesday. Normally this was going to be my 10 predictions for the year 2023 involving Pokemon Go. However, we got some business to take care of first. And we're going to do that right now. Let's get on with it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Twinkling Fantasy. Today's day is Tuesday, January the 3rd. 2023. Remember to change the year. 2023. Cause this was a thing last year, and you guys never told me that I would keep saying 2021 in the text. So yes, we are changing it. Alright. Whoosha. Whoosha. Alright. Enough of that. Like I said in the beginning, I got my top 10 predictions for Pokemon Go for the year 2023. But first, we got some news regarding a brand new event. Check this out. Trainers! So yes, live your own whimsical adventure in the Twinkling Fantasy event. So that will be going on right here. And the main focus here would be dragons and fairy types. And it will start on Tuesday, January 10th at 8 a.m. to Monday, January 16th at 10 p.m. local time. This is all 2023. Let's move on. Mega Salamence will make his debut, which brings me to a prediction that I have. We'll get into that later in this video. So yes, Mega Salamence will be coming to the game, and this is going to be huge. This might be the best Mega Dragon type in the game at this point in time, that is. Alright, let's keep it moving. So the event bonus will look like the following. Double XP for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, great, and excellent throws. Increased chance of trainers level 31 and up to receive Candy XL for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, great, and excellent throws. Additional candies for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, great, and excellent throws. So yeah, y'all need to get them excellent throws and those throw bonus in general. Let's move on. Wild encounters which look like this. Clefairy, which can be shiny. Jigglypuff, Dratini, Togetic, Mero, Waltz, Bagon, Dino, however you pronounce it. All those can be shiny, including Day shiny form will finally be in the game. So yes, that is actually coming. And then other Pokemon like Clefable and Vibrata, which cannot be shiny, unfortunately. And if you're lucky, you might encounter Goomy. We got more on that later. And Noibat, which of course can be shiny. That's going to be a good one as well. Let's move on. You might have a surprise encounter with a dragon or fairy type Pokemon where you take a snapshot during the Twinkling Fantasy event. So yeah, be prepared to take those snapshots, folks. In addition to that, there's going to be a collection challenge. Complete the Twinkling Fantasy collection challenge to receive 50 Salamence Mega Energy, a charge, and a fast TM. Now, here's what the field research task encounters are looking like. You're looking at Clefable, Dratini, Bagon, and Day, the new one. And even if you're lucky, you might encounter Goomy. Yeah, I think everybody should be passing on that for the time being. Here's what the raids will be looking like. Be looking like 1-star raids, Jigglypuff, Mero, Axew, and Dino, or Dino, however you pronounce it. All of those can be shiny. 3-star raids, you're looking at Moral, Druddigon, High Cricket, and Day, and yeah, send me those Day raids, and all 3 of those can be shiny as well. 5-star raids, it will be Zekrom at this time, and the Mega will be Mega Salamence. And all of those raid bosses, by the way, can be shiny. Let me reiterate that point. Feature attacks, Zekrom will know the move Fusion Bolt when you catch it between Tuesday, January 10th at 10 a.m. to Wednesday, January 18th at 10 a.m. local time. And Fusion Bolt will do 90 power in trainer battles and 140 power in gyms and raids. Wow, okay, Zekrom should be getting an upgrade with this. And then, of course, please be aware of your surroundings, blah, 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 sign the Pokemon Go team. And that's the Twinkling Fantasy event. So, yeah, very good event, if I do say so myself. Day will be the main Pokemon to focus on. Obviously, you know, send me those Megas, send me that Day raid. And you don't really have to send me Zekrom raids. You know, it's whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah. There you go with that. But yeah, and then of course, you know, I want the Togetic shiny as well, because I think I still need that as well. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty interesting event. So with that out the way, now let's move on to my 10 predictions that I have for the year involving Pokemon Go. Let's start off with number 10. So we kind of saw this in the event that I just brought to you guys, and they have this tradition nowadays. So a rare shiny will get its own community day. In that same year, another new rare shiny will pop up. And then the following year, that rare shiny will get its own community day, and it go back and forth like that. So, I think we should all know this one at this point. Last year, during Go Fest, I think it was Global Go Fest to be exact, Shiny Axew was brought into the game. And it's somewhat of a rare shiny. It's about time we get a community day. So that's my number 10 prediction. Axew community day. So yeah, I think they're gonna keep that tradition going. So the rare shinies will get their community days. And now in terms of when it will happen, I have no idea. But it's going to happen this year. So before we go on with my predictions, I just want to point out that these predictions are based off of what I think will happen, more than likely, to least likely this will happen. So that's what number 10 is. This more likely will happen out of everything on my list. So yeah, Axew community day this year, you can definitely book it. Now, let's move on to number 9. Number 9 involves my number 10. So remember the tradition. If a rare shiny is getting its community day, that means another shiny will have to come to the game, a rare one. And normally it involves dragons, with the exception of Shinx. But here's the thing. This year, we're going to get Shiny Gumi. So I know I just gave you guys that event. There was no Shiny Gumis inside, obviously. But probably during Go Fest or Global Go Fest, we will get Shiny Gumi in the game. That's going to be the new rare shiny that will replace Axew, as it will get its own community day. So, yeah, I truly believe that Shiny Gumi, and it's a good shiny. It's like a gold color shiny, actually. So I believe Shiny Axew will be coming to Pokemon Go to replace the rarity that is Shiny Axew. Let's move on to number 8. Number 8. A lot of you guys may be disappointed with this one, but I still think this is going to be something that comes true, or something that don't come true. Now, there has been word from people that make predictions rather, that this certain Pokemon will be coming to the game this year. Come on now. I don't think it's happening. You should know, Niantic, this is not going to happen. This Pokemon will not be coming this year. I don't know if it's ever going to come, but I know for a fact that this thing is not coming this year. What am I talking about? The Ash Hat Greninja. Or Ash Greninja rather. So that's not coming. So think about it. There is a Ash Hat Mankey, like one point in time. So not every single Pokemon that belongs to Ash will show up in the game, unless it's Pikachu or something like that. That's pretty much it for the most part. Anything outside of that, don't expect it to show up in Pokemon Go. So I don't think we're going to get an Ash Greninja in the game, even though apparently there's been stats on this thing already. I still don't think it's coming to Pokemon Go, at the very least, not this year. So that's my number 8 prediction. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7 is another prediction that, I'll be honest, I hope it don't happen. I really, really hope that number 7 don't happen. And number 7 is this. I believe, but I think this will happen though. I truly believe, even though I don't want this to happen, but I truly believe Go Fest will return to Seattle. That's what I believe. I believe, even though I have no confirmation of this, that there's some type of deal that Niantic made with the city of Seattle to have Go Fest there for like 2 to 3 years total. And we're going to see Go Fest in Seattle, not just this year, but next year as well. And again, I'm not looking forward to it, because even though Seattle is a nice city, you know, with the mountains and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's highly expensive, and it's obviously far from me personally. So I would prefer to see Go Fest return to Chicago, but I think they got to deal with Seattle, and they got to live up to it. So that's my thinking regarding Seattle and Go Fest of this year. Now, Go Fest in America, that is. All right, let's move on to number 6, and this is going to be interesting right here. Number 6. We kind of talked about it in the announcement in the new event that's coming up this month, and it's this. So when I created this list, before I received news about the whole Mega Salamence thing. So I had to like alter my list a little bit, and that is this. alongside Mega Salamence, which is big, Mega Lucario will be the biggest Mega debut of the year. So originally it was going to be Mega Lucario. I think it's going to be the only biggest Mega debut of the year. So obviously there's a lot more Megas that's not in Pokemon Go that can show up. And they like to take their sweet time bringing in those new Megas, you know, to make the game last longer, which is understandable. I get it. Makes sense. But in terms of all the Megas that were coming to the game this year, I firmly believe, before this announcement, I firmly believe Mega Lucario was going to be the biggest. What I mean by biggest, I mean the most popular, possibly the strongest, but definitely the most popular. And although you could say Lucario is more popular than Salamence, but Salamence should be stronger than Lucario. So that's why I put them two side by side. So alongside with Mega Salamence, I believe this year we're going to get Mega Lucario, and that would be the biggest Mega debut of the year in Pokemon Go. Let's move on to number 5, which brings me to number 5 actually. Number 5. So remember how I said Mega Salamence is coming, and that's going to be the best Dragon Mega in the game, as far as I know of, that is. And you know how I also said that Mega Lucario will be the biggest Mega debut of the year? So put those two together, and you can figure out what my number 5 is. Like, I mean, I'll rate. You know, hold up. I'll give you time. All right, time's up. So we're not getting Mega Rayquaza this year. Yes, I know the Hoenn Tour is coming up, and we're gonna get the Primo Kyogre and Primo Groudon, but we're not gonna get Mega Rayquaza this year. We're not. That's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen this year. I have no rhyme or reason behind it. Just because it's the Hoenn event, that doesn't mean we're gonna get all the Megas, cause like that's, as far as I can recall, that's never been the case with these Go Tours event. Like, oh, it's a Go Tour event, that means we got to have all the Megas from that region. No, I don't recall that happening, and I don't think that would happen this time around. And really, it's not necessary for it to happen because of a Hoenn event. Now, don't get it wrong. If Mega Rayquaza shows up, I got 96% IV shiny and a hundo. Like, bruh. Like, yo, even though I prefer Shundo, but like I said, bruh, I mean, come on now. Like, yo, I'll welcome that. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. So that's my number 5 prediction. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is wishful thinking, but I hope this happens. I really, really hope this happens to put myself at ease. And that is this. We all know that, you know, they brought it back last year. So Go Fest happened in America, in Germany, and Japan. I want to focus on the Japan one, ladies and gentlemen. So also what's going on this year in Japan is Worlds. That would be in Yokohama. But the thing is, we have no clue when Worlds will take place. We have no clue when Go Fest, any of them, will take place, not to mention where for a official word. Even though we have an idea to a lesser degree of where they would be, you know, Germany, America, Japan. But cities we don't know, but more importantly, the dates we don't know. But here's where my number 4 prediction is gonna play. I truly believe and I hope that Japan's Go Fest will take place the weekend before Worlds, before Yokohama. So that's my number 4 prediction right there. So my belief is this. I truly believe that Worlds will take place during my birthday weekend. So that means I'll be spending my birthday in Japan. But I'm hoping that the week prior to that Pokemon Go Fest in Japan will be happening the week prior to that. And the more likely scenario is that it will happen 2 weeks prior, which is, I guess, okay. But I would prefer it, and I'm hoping that it will happen the weekend before Worlds. So that's my number 4 prediction. Let's move on to number 3, as we're going to go back to the Hoenn event. Number 3. So I talked about Mega Rayquaza not showing up this year, and the belief that some people have is that it will show up at the Hoenn event because it's the Hoenn event, Rayquaza from that region, and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. But, and I also talked about how we have not gotten a Mega from every single region that just happened to have a Go Tour event. At least not that I can recall. But the one thing that did happen at every single Go Tour event for every single region up to the Hoenn region is this. Every single Pokemon from their respective regions up to Hoenn were in the game, and their shiny forms were released. All of them. Whatever ones that were left, they were all released at their respective Go Tours event. And Hoenn will be no different. Which brings us to a controversial one. I said this last year, and obviously it didn't happen. It got to happen this year. There is no way this does not happen this year. And I'm talking about Kecleon. Kecleon got to show up at Go Tour Hoenn, and it got to have a shiny. It's you know, you gotta follow the formula. You got to. Like in my opinion, at this point in time, if Kecleon does not show up at this event, I truly believe that this year's Hoenn event, like the global one, will be a total failure. That's my honest opinion. Like the Las Vegas one, I don't think it'll be total failure because you're going there, you're meeting so many people and stuff like that. But the global one that's going to happen the weekend after, it will be a definitive failure if Kecleon does not show up. Speaking of Pokemon showing up and not showing up, let's move on to my number 2. Number 2 is also something that I thought would happen last year, but it didn't happen. But I think it's going to happen this year, especially since this was advertised to show up in the game last year. What am I talking about? Zygarde! Zygarde was advertised by Pokemon Go themselves to show up in the game, and it didn't happen in 2022. It got to show up in 2023. It's that simple. Like, why advertise a Pokemon if it's not going to show up? So, I mean, it makes sense. It's common sense. So, and I think this happened at least once before they advertised a Pokemon. Matter of fact, Mega Lucario. That was advertised, and we still haven't seen that thing yet. And along with the Mega Mewtwo's, they were advertised, and we haven't seen those yet either. So, but I don't think we're going to see the Mega Mewtwo's this year. I think we will see the Mega Lucario this year. And also, Zygarde have to show up this year as well. That's my honest opinion. So there's my number 2 prediction. Let's move on to number 1. Number 1 is very interesting. So we talked about Worlds like a few predictions back. And obviously Pokemon Go have their place in Worlds. Now, obviously, in terms of this year's Worlds, it's far too late for anything new to pop up. I know they recently like added Scarlet and Violet, you know, the VSGs into Worlds like recently. But in terms of anything, I truly believe that it's too late to add anything really significant. So there's that. But Worlds 2024 is a different story. So once Worlds 2023 ends, I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, and PvP community, check this out, because the time is about to be here. The time is almost here. I truly believe that Worlds, that Play Pokemon, the Pokemon Company, Pokemon Go, will include E-teams. PvP E-teams. Yes, I truly believe that. It's about that time. There's E-teams all over the place. I don't see why that can't be the case with Pokemon Go, with the PvP scenario. Now, they're not going to add a new system into the game to say, oh, you can compete with like 3 teams or 3 teammates and go against another team of 3. No, I'm not saying that's going to happen. But what I'm saying what happened is this. There's going to be a system that would be brought up by Play Pokemon, by the Pokemon Company, by Niantic, or whoever. And they are now going to allow teams to compete at Worlds in the Pokemon Go PvP space. And I truly believe that that will happen. And remember, they took off Pokken, and nothing replaced it. And you're probably thinking, well, what about Scarlet and Violet? No, that didn't replace it. Scarlet and Violet replaced Sword and Shield. So nothing replaced Pokken. So they got one event open, and I can't think of anything else outside of Pokemon Go PvP E-team. E-team competitions. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's my number 1 prediction. So what are your 10 predictions leave them in the comment section below. And also, speaking of predictions, if you got this point in the video, leave the word predictions in the comment section below as well. If you're gonna give me your top 10 predictions, you might as well just say the word prediction in all caps. So I'm gonna call it a wrap. And with all that said, y'all know this is brand new J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith. I'm tired. Saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah. Subscribe. Thanks, man. Do it. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Lewis the trainer, articulating paint. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they rank them with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show them that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.